Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Once again. It's your boy J Nick 12, James, Pastor J, whatever. Brown man from the fifth floor. Just your boy checking in once again. Just felt compelled to kind of come back on here a little bit again. Kind of talk about this just a little bit more, because unfortunately, it's something that we have to deal with. It's something that we see that's not going anywhere. It's happening, it's going on, and it's taking place, and, at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it to a degree, because it's happening, and unfortunately we're dealing with it in so many different ways, and on so many different avenues. But just wanted to kind of reiterate again and just look at some of the stuff that the professionals are saying and what they're doing, and what they're not doing. And once again, I'm neither one. I'm no medical professional. Can you hear me now? Is that a little bit better? I guess I got the volume up. I guess I'm talking loud enough. If you can hear me, just let me know. If you can't hear me, I'll make an adjustment. But I believe you can hear me. All right. If you can hear me, then we'll rock. Once again, I'm not a professional. I'm not. Okay, great. I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I don't work for the CDC. I'm not a scientist. I'm not proficient, excuse me, in none of this, what they're trying to say or not say, do or not do. So I'm just going based on what they're saying and what I see and what they're reporting. And once again, my observational viewpoint, my observational opinion. And once again, as I stated last time I was on the Zoom, I'm not going to be on here long. The last time I was on the Zoom the other day, I talked about all of the changes that it has gone on from the beginning when it first reported 2020. I believe I had just survived it at the end of 2019, and no vaccination, quarantined myself, all of that, dealt with it, and God brought me through it, along with a couple other people that I know that they was terming upper respiratory infection at that time before it actually hit the scene, and they knew that it was the coronavirus or the COVID-19 and all of this. And once again, just to reiterate, not many months ago, nobody was vaccinated. We was all unvaccinated, and we was all wearing our mask, and we was all social distancing, safety protocols in place, following them. And some wasn't wearing their mask, some wasn't obeying it. And we saw the videos of people flipping out because they was told to put on a mask if they went in the store. So we still kind of had that. But the majority of the world, and this is the key, it wasn't just New York City. It wasn't just one place. This thing was global and is global. And globally, protocols, following them to the best they could, mask, quarantines, social distancing, all of that, physical distancing, however you want to call it. And where was the numbers? Down. No new cases was being reported, very rarely. No new deaths, numbers down. Nobody vaccinated, no vaccination on the scene yet. They were still trying to develop it and work it out and everything. So the numbers, once again, down. No new cases, hardly no new deaths being reported. So my thing is, had we maintained that, I believe we would have been a little bit closer and a little further in eradicating this thing. Come on, somebody. And eradicating this coronavirus, even though it's still in the Father's hand, because we don't know how much and how long and how whatever this thing is going to pan out and it's going to work out. But yet and still, at the end of the day, all of the numbers was down. Then the vaccine shows up, and they now vaccinating people, and immediately they begin to lift the safety protocols. Don't wear the mask. You don't have to worry about social distancing. They opening up the world, opening up sporting events, all kind of engagements where you could just gather. Once again, they still hadn't put nothing in place for the people that was being vaccinated to prove that they're vaccinated, to show it, their cards. None of that system was up in place yet, but yet and still they relaxed all of the safety protocols. Just boom, it's done and over with without knowing who's really vaccinated and not vaccinated and all of that, right? That's just to me a mistake on their part. And at the same time announcing that there's another strain, a Delta or variant or strain that's worse than what's already supposedly here, that's coming, that's worse. But yet and still, y'all going to relax the safety protocols. Talked about that the last time. So now, just a quick little update and just want to holler. Yes, sir, rebellious people in the majority cried and caused politicians to loosen the standards that were lowering the threat of contracting. That's right, COVID. Yes, sir, preacher, pastor, people moaning, groaning, and complaining, okay? So we're going to always have that. That's been throughout the whole Bible, moaning, groaning, and complaining. That is nothing new. So now, once again, no vaccination, following the protocols, numbers down. Vaccination now shows up. They relax the protocols. Numbers are spiking. Numbers is going up. Deaths is being reported. But the issue and the problem with all of this is that they now want to blame unvaccinated people for this cause, for this spread, and for this issue, and for the increase, where they totally forgot not many months ago we was all unvaccinated and none of the numbers was climbing. There was no new deaths. So now y'all want to blame it all on the unvaccinated people. Okay, all right, no problem. But the problem with that is, like I pointed out last time, is how many unvaccinated people are we actually really seeing reporting or catching it. And I think I understand what he was trying to say. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, great basketball player, great humanitarian, and great man and everything. But he misspoke when he made his plea to the NBA, talking about we see people dying in the streets. When was the last time anybody saw anybody laid out in the street behind this thing, or dying in the streets, or killed over? Because if that's the case, we will find many homeless, population just that way, which is what I pointed out the last time. Because if this thing is so transmittable, and if this thing is so detrimental the way it's being reported and the way they saying it is, why haven't and why aren't we finding homeless people sick from this thing, dying in the street, killing over from this? And I'm talking about globally, let alone in New York City alone. We see there's many and watch this, they ain't wearing no mask. They ain't vaccinated. They ain't wearing no mask. They ain't sanitizing. They ain't spraying. They ain't doing no Lysol. None of this stuff. They just doing what they do, going on about their business and just living their life. But yet and still, we don't see them killing over in the street from this thing. We don't see them getting sick from this thing. We don't see it affecting them at all. And not even amongst the younger population. Yes, maybe you having some here and there, but I don't see a whole lot of people reporting that as much as they trying to say. So now we went from last year where our essential workers, the frontline workers, all of those people that was putting their lives on the line, that was in the heart of this thing, in the meat of this thing, in the thick of this thing, we went from celebrating them 7:00 p.m. announcing clang, 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 the essential workers, the frontline workers, and all of that, celebrating their heroes and all of that. How do y'all go from that to now, and all of a sudden now, because of y'all mandate and because of y'all agenda, now they not heroes no more? Now You're not celebrating them no more. Now you're forcing them out of jobs. You're firing them, putting them out of work. These people possibly could lose their benefits, probably going to lose their 401k, probably going to lose a whole lot of different things because of y'all mandate and y'all agenda, which once again, I don't care. Y'all can come up with the mandates and all of that you want, but unless you actually change the Constitution, you tell me, how do you force somebody to do something that's either against their medical or against their religion? Whether you want to acknowledge it or accept it or not, that's a fact. The Constitution has not changed. Y'all can mandate this stuff all you want. Even the Pope himself is mandating that all of his people and all of the Catholics or whoever be mandated, and got the nerve to even say you're not even accepting religious exemptions. Dude, are you serious? Okay, whatever. That's on you. You representing the Roman Catholic Church. You're not representing the church at large or the church as a whole. You speaking for them, you surely not speaking for me, because that's not how that works. So at the end of the day, unless they change the Constitution, they still can't force you and mandate you to do something against your will, against what you agree with, against your body, against your religious beliefs, and so forth and so on. And like I said, I'm not here to come against people that's vaccinated. I'm not here to come against people that's not vaccinated, because that's your personal choice, your personal opinion. That's your body, your choice and decision that you have to live with and that you got to deal with. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, whether you take it, we still got to trust God. We don't take it, you got to trust God. Either way you look at it. So whatever side of the fence you on, you just maintain who you are and what you are and do the best that you can. But I just can't understand the seriousness of this mandate and this agenda to the extreme, that you don't care about causing thousands of people to lose their livelihood, where they now can't pay their rent, can't provide for their family, can't possibly buy food, so forth and so on, going to lose their pensions and lose their, and can't even get unemployment, and all of these things because you tried to force them to abide by a mandate and an agenda that y'all, okay, so if this thing is so deadly, because not everybody's catching it. There's quite a few that's caught it, dealing with it. And yes, it's a pandemic, but you're going to force me to take something by chance that I might catch it. So should I not drive my car? By chance, I might get in an accident. Should I not go out my house? Because by chance, I might get hit by a stray bullet, or I might get mugged, robbed, or something ill might happen to me. So should I stay in my house to just make sure I'm totally safe? You know, so how do we just basing things on a possibility of something happen, even though, yes, it's global and it has affected many, but everybody's not getting sick. Everybody's not dying. Everybody is not contracting this thing. So y'all making this thing a mandate and an agenda based on a what if or a possibility. Because at the end of the day, y'all still trying to force something on people that seems to not actually protect them. And y'all trying to say, oh, but it would be worse if you wasn't vaccinated. But yet and still, I don't see a whole lot of unvaccinated people getting sick, but I see a lot of vaccinated people getting sick. PS 79, I said it. 19 people, faculty and staff, vaccinated, had to close the school down. They just opened up Broadway, had to close down, I believe it was Aladdin, one of them, faculty and staff, all of them vaccinated. People attending, vaccinated. Y'all now can't blame this on unvaccinated people, because unless you're vaccinated, you can't come, you can't participate, you can't come to the show. So how are y'all now going to excuse that? What's your explanation for that? That everybody that was a part of that thing was all vaccinated. So now what are you saying? Now what do you say to that? You can't blame unvaccinated people because they took no part in that. All of the cast vaccinated. People that's coming in have to show proof of vaccination. So now what do you say? That these people's coming down with it. There's still kids that's coming down with it, still staff, still children that's coming down with this stuff, but they're all vaccinated. So how do you explain this, where this thing is supposed to guard you against, and now you want to put booster shots on booster shots and extra shots and this, that, and the other. And y'all done changed it so much that once you get all of the shots, you're supposed to be fully protected. But obviously that ain't the truth, because people done got fully vaccinated. And I've spoken to people, and I know people personally, fully vaccinated and all of that, still end up catching it, still getting sick. But you want to blame the unvaccinated person, but the unvaccinated person is not the one getting sick. Oh, but you want to say, oh, but we passing it to them. How am I going to pass it to them and I ain't even got it? How am I going to pass them, make them sick, but I ain't sick? And don't give me this, you're asymptomatic and stuff, because to me that could be a whole nother whitewash. That you saying that just to cover all bases. But oh, you might not have the system, but you might still have it to pass it. Okay, all right, no problem. That, for all I know, it could be true, could not be true. But at the end of the day, there's something deeper than this. If y'all have to really go to this extreme, where you're going to force people out of their jobs, you're going to force people out of their livelihoods, you might create more homelessness, you're going to create, you took away unemployment and all of that, figured that you're going to now force people to get back to work. But how are you going to go back to work if people are not hiring? We are in the midst of a pandemic. We are in the midst of major issues, and people might not be able to hire people like they want. Okay, so even if they now are hiring, now the key to this is you going back to work, because you have to try to find work, because no unemployment. You can't pay your bills now. You can't pay your rent if your job closed down and all of this. But now the new jobs is requiring that you be vaccinated, or you can't get a job. So now you're forcing us once again, or forcing people once again into your agenda and into your mandate, so much so that the mayor of the New York City said out of his mouth on the news, yeah, well, once they'll come back. They're going to come back and take these jobs. They're going to come back and get vaccinated. They're going to come back and get work once they realize that money ain't coming in. Once they realize they can't pay them bills. Once they realize that. So really, you actually said this out of your mouth because you're more interested in you're more interested in getting people vaccinated and covering your mandate and your agenda than to keep people in their jobs, to make sure people. But it's supposed to be about protecting families, but y'all not protecting families by kicking people out of their jobs, by forcing people out of their jobs, by firing people, and not just a couple of people, 500 people here, thousands of people there, just and the governor talking about bringing in the National Guard. What do the National Guard know about being teachers? What do the National Guard know about being nurses and all of this kind of stuff? Where all of these people that you're now putting out of work, they're gonna come in and do what? They're gonna come in and cover what? So I don't quite get it. I don't quite understand it. I'm still praying, but I'm just paying attention to what the professionals are saying. This is not me saying it. I'm just speaking on what they're saying and what they're doing, and it just has me scratching my head. I don't quite get it. I don't quite understand it, and I'm just praying, and I pray for all of the families that's going to be affected by this thing, that's losing their jobs, that now can't pay their rent, can't provide food, and can't even get unemployment because you got fired. And normally, even once you get fired, you're able to take unemployment, but their agenda is so much so that you're fired, but now you don't qualify for unemployment because they want you to take this vaccination. So you're fired, which automatically requires that you get unemployment. But because it's equated to what they want you to do in this mandate and their agenda, you now don't qualify for unemployment benefits. Because once again, they're trying to force you back to work, but they're trying to force you to take this vaccination, force you to take this mandate and get this agenda, and force you to do all of this stuff. Now, I just don't get it. Once again, I don't quite understand it. But this is what they're doing, and I don't understand it. But once again, I'm praying, and like I said, I'm no professional, but all I know and all I pray is that that you do the best that you can. You make the best out of this thing, the best that you can. What you said, daughter, Pastor Andy, I need your message. I have a fear of being vaccinated. All those that I've known that have been are sick. A few passed away. Now my job is mandating vaccinations or weekly testing, and I was considered getting it, but now I'm just stick to weekly. And that's the key. So at least some places is still allowing the weekly testing, but they trying to remove that as well. They trying to put that as a non-option no more. That used to be an option, that you can get weekly tested, and as long as you show a negative, a non-positive COVID-19 test, you was good. But some places, because of their mandate and their agenda to get everybody vaccinated, they're not even making that an option anymore for some people, making that an option anymore. So it's, to me, they're going so hard for this agenda. It's going so hard for this mandate because they still trying to pay people to take it. $100 in all the commercial, like I said the last time. I don't care what you say. I have not seen hardly any, if any, ever with anybody other than our nationality on the TV talking about getting this vaccination. Talking about, oh, it's okay, and I'm black, and the doctor was black, and oh, there's no side effect. All of this kind of stuff. Like, why y'all going so hard to try to convince us? Why y'all going so hard? I guess because, we done been there and done that. I don't know about nobody else, but I know a little bit about our history. We done been experimented on, and we've been lied to, and we've been the guinea pigs, and we've been this, that, and the other, and the third. So of course we're a little hesitant. Of course we're a little concerned, and of course, that's why it's great to see all of the black entrepreneurs, or the black millionaires, and the black people that's humanitarians, and all of that greatness, all of that position and posture, and all of that talking about black athletes and everything, pushing it and saying it's okay, get it. That's fine, and that works for you, because I heard somebody state it, and I believe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said this. Okay, do your research and do your study. LeBron James said, I did my research and did my study, and now I'm comfortable taking it. But what if I do my research and my study, and I'm still not comfortable taking it? Then what you going to say then? Do your research, do your study. And if I do my research and do my study, and it still causes me to be hesitant and causes me to not want to take it, now what you going to say? Now what you going to say? You're still going to try to blackball me. You're going to still say, oh, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about, and this, that, and the other. So at the end of the day, we must pray. We have to understand and know and realize that this thing is personal. And yes, it affects everybody, and you can be affected. And that's why I still say, because I might not be going out of here and don't take it, but I'm still going out here with this on. I'm still rocking my mask. I'm still social distancing. I'm still walking with my alcohol and spraying my shopping carts down and doing my hands, because this thing is real to the degree that it is. And nobody really knows what it really is, the fullness, the depths of it, because once again, we only can go by based on what they say and what they're reporting and what it appears to be, and what, So at the end of the day, all I can do is just do my best to follow the safety protocols. I'm keeping my mask on. I'm keeping my social distancing. I'm making sure I don't walk without my alcohol. I spray myself down when I go out, and when I come in the car, every time I touch something, I spray it. When I bring my stuff in, before I put it in my cabinets and in my refrigerator or in my freezer, I wash my stuff off. I spray it down. I wash it off, wipe it down. Then I put it in my refrigerator. Then I put it in my cupboards. Then I put it in my freezer. I don't just come in. I leave my sneakers outside, and I even spray them down. Come on, somebody. So you got to do whatever you got to do. They expect us to believe them, but wisdom says don't do it. Amen, Apostle, Because to me, they don't even seem like they. 1 minute is one day is this way, the next day is that way, the next day it changes. So I do all of these things. Yes, sir, I do all of those. When I come in, especially anything bottle, I wash it off, rinse it off. Anything that I can't wet, I'll spray it down maybe with some alcohol or a wet towel with a little soap and water, and I wipe it down. I do not put anything in my refrigerator, in my cupboards, or in my freezer without wiping it down. I spray myself down with alcohol and everything, or Lysol, whatever, when I come in, and clothes and everything. So, you just got to do what you got to do. But I just can't see how they keep trying to force and blame the unvaccinated, where it seems like everybody that's getting sick and coming down with it is the ones that's vaccinated. Because everybody that was at that Broadway play, that attended it, vaccinated. And I said it before, a bunch of Yankee players, vaccinated, came down with it. So I don't know. Yeah, help me to understand it, because I don't know. I'm not the professional. I'm just trying to listen to what they're saying, and I'm confused. I don't get it, because like I said, many months ago, nobody was vaccinated. We was following the safety protocols, rocking these joints, doing what they told us to do concerning that, and everything was all good. Looked like it was on its way out of here. On its way out of here. Once again, even once they came out with these emergency vaccination, if it was really all of that, the FDA themselves did not back it, did not support it, did not put their stamp of approval on it then. I believe they starting to now, because once again, I think it's lining up with the agenda and the mandate that they trying to do. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if any other ones got backed by the FDA, but I believe Pfizer did. I'm not sure if any other ones is, but at the end of the day, I'm praying for you. Just continue to pray for me. No, it don't stop it. And yes, it can lead to other illnesses as well, Apostle Jotham. Yes. So at the end of the day, all you can do is believe God, trust in God. He's still sovereign. He's still on the throne. That hasn't changed. It will never change. And I just thought that was kind of odd that the whole Broadway play cast and people attended was all vaccinated, had to shut it down. But now you're gonna blame that on. And it seems like, for whatever reason, obviously I guess it wasn't all that serious, or they just don't care, because it sounds like they opening it back up. Okay, but I thought the cast and all of them came down with the vaccine. So how y'all opening it back up? Okay, no, all right, no problem. So, it's just in Jersey and all of these places, a bunch of faculty, a bunch of students is catching it, but once again, vaccinated. They done got it. So I don't understand it. It ain't stopping it, but you're saying it doesn't make it. It could be worse if you don't get it. But yet and still, I still don't see a whole lot of people that hasn't gotten it coming down with it. To me, it's just the ones that's vaccinated that's coming down with it. So I don't know. Okay, just pray for me. I'm praying for you. Let's trust God. Let's believe God. And whatever it is, if you take it and have to take it, or you're forced to take it, just pray, submit yourself, commit yourself to God in that. And if you choose not to take it and deal with the consequences of that, unfortunately, if you lose your job and whatever, we'll pray for that and believe that God will work that out as well. Either way, we just got to figure this out. But to me, the way they're going so hard at this thing, and to the extreme that they're going hard at this thing, and don't care about the lives that they're destroying behind this thing, and how it's truly affecting the people that you was once calling the frontline workers and the heroes and all of the teachers and all of these people, and you don't care. And they firing people and now scrambling to figure out how they're going to cover the shifts, because y'all didn't think about it, because all y'all care about is the mandate and y'all agenda, and now you're understaffed. Now you don't have enough staff to cover the shift, to cover the patients, to cover this, that, and the other. So, yeah, oh yeah. Unfortunately, that's what it seems like, unfortunately, sir. Treating it like it's the mark of the beast, that you can't buy or sell without getting this thing. You can't do this and do that. It can't be this and be that and whatever. So, but guess what? Lock me up. take my money, whatever. Because unless God tell me to take it, I'm just not there. I'm not there. So whatever it is, and I don't knock nobody that taking it for whatever reason, or they have taken it or will take it, until the Father tells me otherwise or shows me otherwise, I'm just, because I even told my wife, I said, if you decided to take it for whatever reason, guess what? That's still between you and God. I just ain't taking it. But we've already talked about it. We've prayed about it, and we're on the same page. So, but I'm not here to try to tell nobody or convince nobody one way or the other. Because at the end of the day, I'm no professional. I'm just paying attention to what's being said, what's going on, what's happening, and I'm listening to the professionals. And I'm watching the professionals, and I'm paying attention to the professionals and the governmental officials and everybody that's in these places and everything. And at the end of the day, okay, yeah, I'm going to go there and I'm finished. Just because you taking the vaccination, that don't necessarily mean you getting the same one that they got over there in Washington, or that they're getting in the White House, or that they're getting in certain communities, in certain neighborhoods. For all you know, God forbid, you could be getting a placebo. You could not be protected at all. For all you know, you could be getting something and you really don't know what's in there. Okay, so, all right. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother Zoom. That would be a whole nother, because at the end of the day, he's still sovereign. He's still on the throne. And I'm trusting him. And, yeah, I'm there too, sir. And, and I'm praying for you. Please pray for me. I love you. And yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Because we don't know what's in it, And like, for example, I said it before and I'm done. I don't take the flu shot, but I don't get sick. I don't get the flu. So I'm going to take the flu shot just in case I might get the flu. If I get the flu, I undo it and keep it moving and go on, But that's another thing. Everybody that's sometimes to me seem to get the flu shot come down with the flu. So I'm good. I'm good, but I'm just saying, I'm just sharing. And I just want us to pray one for another. And I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm not trying to, make light of this thing, because there's definitely nothing light about it, because many have passed, many have been affected by this. I continuously pray for the bereaved families, for the bereaved ministries, bereaved just friends, for there's people that's been affected by this thing on so many levels and to so many degrees, and there's people that has not been affected, have been blessed, favored, and graced, behind this thing. One of my members in the heart of this thing passed. Now, whether she actually passed from the actual coronavirus or not, I'm not sure if we got that report or not, but we couldn't go see her. We couldn't even bury her, put her away properly. All we could do as a church and with the family is do something via Facebook or via Zoom or via social media. That they did what they did concerning that in the heart of it. So, and all we can do is pray. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely not making light of this at all. But it's so serious that all of these people now are affected. So they might survive and might make it through not catching this coronavirus or this COVID-19 or the Delta variant and none of this stuff. But they couldn't survive the government. But they couldn't survive a mandate. But they couldn't survive an agenda, because they become a casualty of that more than they become a casualty of this so-called pandemic or this COVID-19 and this coronavirus. They've become more of a pandemic, a casualty of man's agenda and mandate than they actually did or appeared to be from this actual sickness and pandemic and this disease. So we must pray. I love you. I'm praying for you. Please keep me in prayer as I keep you in prayer. And let's just continue to look to the hills from whence cometh our help. For our help coming from the Lord, who has made heaven and earth. He has the first, the last, and the in-between say. And I'm continuing to pray for our government. I'm continuing to pray for the CDC. I continue to pray for everyone that's in the position to make these calls, these judgment calls, these mandates, these rulings, and all of this stuff, this agenda, whatever, praying for them. Because at the end of the day, we as a nation have to return back to the heart of the Father. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. So at the end of the day, if we, I don't care who's man in the Oval Office, what administration is controlling it, whether it's Democrats, Republican, liberal, this, that, and the other, we all got to come back to the heart of the Father at the end of the day. And no administration is going to always cross every T, dot every I. They're not going to always do everything that we agree with. But at the end of the day, I don't care who's in there. He's still on the throne. I don't care who's manning, making the calls and making the this, that, and the other. He's still sovereign. And at the end of the day, I trust him more than I trust myself, let alone anybody else. Hello, somebody. So we just got to believe God. We got to trust God. And we got to continue to pray. You have a blessed God night, and I pray that, and we here for this. If we need to do a Zoom, anybody want to kind of dialogue more about this, because I know it's hard to dialogue like this, via the Facebook Live. But hey, y'all know me. If some of y'all have my number, or you can reach out to me through an inbox if y'all think we need to really come together and really talk about it and pray about it via Zoom. My Zoom is available. And we can do this, and we can really talk about it. We can really pray about it. I'm really trying to set something up with some people that I know that's want to give people information. They deal with mental health training, and we've done it with them before. And because we're in the midst of this pandemic and all of this we're dealing with, they kind of shifted it just a little bit to have it focus more on the pandemic and the fears and the anxiety that people are dealing with and going through. So if I connect with them and set up something, possibly like an early Saturday morning or something, I'll make sure I get the information out where they want to come and be able to give information, answer questions, and ask if you got questions, answer questions, and what have you, based on the anxiety and the fear and the mental anguish and all of this stuff that people are dealing with, because this thing is real. And now on top of that, just dealing with the pandemic, now you got people worrying about their livelihood now, providing for their families, losing their jobs, and all of this. So you're talking about plunging the world into a possible, plunging the world into possible, what's it called? I can't even think of the word right now. Yeah, downward. Yeah, not progressing, regressing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to pray. My brother called me a few weeks ago on Friday and said he tested positive. God told me to treat it like the flu. I went to Walmart and got everything he needed. A week later, he still called me and said he was back at work and still going. See? So, no vaccination, I guess. Just doing it, because when I got it, I didn't know what it was. I just treated it like it was the flu myself. Did what I normally do when I get sick, and it finally broke after about 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't go into the hospital, wasn't on no respirator, didn't, all of that, but, yeah, the depression, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, and they're on their way to creating that. Because if people don't have money to pay their bills, to pay their rent, that means they're going to lose their homes, can't feed their families, can't feed themselves, can't pay their bills, and all of this. What does that also means? All of that money that would come back into society, come back into circulation, is not. It's not. So y'all so focused on y'all agenda and y'all mandate that y'all really missing the big picture, because y'all cut off all these people that was getting unemployment, but they were spending that unemployment, paying their bills, buying groceries, putting it back into the economy. Okay, but because y'all mandate is what it is and y'all agenda what it is, y'all just missing that whole picture. Yeah. So yeah, all of that. Yes, Apostle, all of that. So we just gotta pray, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful that God is blessed and favored, and I'm gonna continue to trust that He's gonna continue to do that, because David said it this way, and I'm finished. I was young, now I'm out. old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So God is going to make sure he take care of his, provide for his. He's going to always bring us through and bring us out, regardless of which side of the fence you're on. Whether you take it, don't take it, believe in it, don't believe in it, trust in it, don't trust in it. He's still the God. He's still a sovereign God to us all. Because my revelation might not be yours. Yours might not be mine. My relationship is not yours. Yours is not mine. So I can't fault you, can't blame you, and I hope you don't do the same to me, because at the end of the day, we all need him. At the end of the day, we all got to follow him. At the end of the day, we all got to obey him. At the end of the day, it's all about him and nothing else. So I love you. I thank you for just taking your time out to come on to hear little old me, and to share your thoughts and whatever. And like I said, if anybody feel like they need to or would like to do a Zoom, put something together, guess what? We're here for it. Reach out to me, and I'm sure Apostle Joe Thurman won't have no problem being a part of that. Won't have no problem pulling something like that together. Because if you need help, you got questions, and you just want to vent, let it out, guess what? This is what we're here for. As pastors and leaders, this is what we're here for. We're here for you. We're here for the people. We're here for one another. It's all about the kingdom. So I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm praying for you. And please continue to pray for me as well. Love you. God bless you. And have a great, blessed God night. Amen. And once again, don't hesitate to reach out if y'all think I need to do a Zoom about this. We really want to talk about it, pray about it. Yes, we are here for you. We are here for you. We are here for you. We ain't here with no judgment. We're not here fault finding. We're not here no blame game. None of that stuff. We just genuinely want to help you to deal with your concerns. Genuinely want to help you navigate this thing as we all have to navigate it. Genuinely seek the heart of the Father, the will of the Father, and seek to be in his will regardless, one way or another. So we love you. We thank you. We pray for you. God bless you. Have a blessed God night. Love you. Bye-bye.